Oh, yeah.
Office.
Looks like his mother?
Yeah.
That's what I always get.
I know it's.
I got two good-looking boys, and everybody says that. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like to call the Bonita Springs Fire Control and Rescue District Monday, December 5th, 2016 meeting to order. Please rise for an invocation by Chaplain Chitwood, followed by the pledge.
We want to have a, excuse me, a moment of silence for 6 firemen that have lost their lives for the last month. Dear God, we come to you and we give honor and lift those up that their lives have been sacrificed for the safety and care of others. We pray, Lord, that you'll be with their families in this time of sorrow and grief. Lord, we also ask for protection for our own firemen and their families and watch over them. We thank you for being our God and for our Father. Help us as a city and as a nation to always seek you and follow your lead in the things that you would have us to do. It's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
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 I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business is to welcome Commissioner Ed Fitzgerald back and swear him in for his oath of office. Thank you.
Stand right up there. And you'll repeat after me.
Yes, ma'am.
You raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States
the Constitution and government of the United States
and of the state of Florida,
and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office
and I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
perform the duties of Fire Commissioner,
perform the duties of the Fire Commissioner,
on which I am about now to enter, so help me God.
on which I am about now to enter, so help me God. Thank you, Jessica. It's also a pleasure to be here. Many familiar faces, and Bonita Springs is now a growing and changing city, and I am looking forward to be part of the development of the Bonita Springs Fire Department as part of that city. I thank you all, and good luck to us all.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is election of officers.
Mr. Chairman, may I be recognized?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to keep the officers the same as they currently are.
I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item is, thank you, gentlemen. Next item on the agenda is public comment on agenda items. Seeing none, we need a motion for the approval of the November 14, 2016 regular board meeting minutes.
So move.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. One motion, approval of November 2016 and current expenditures and ACH payments, acknowledgement of financial report, acknowledgement of wire transfers and transfers between accounts.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Need a motion to accept the disposal report that's in our packet.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now we have years of service pins. Chief.
Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm proud to, I don't even know if they're here yet. No, I don't think so. They're on their way? Okay. They're not here yet, but I'll mention them and give their pins when they get here. I wanted to congratulate Battalion Chief Brad Brown who just achieved 30 years of service
Wow.
to the citizens of Bonita Springs. I've known Brad for my quarter of a century here. He's got me by a few years. And I will say that Battalion Chief Brown is one of the most dedicated people I have ever met in this job. He's also the union president at this time. He's absolutely dedicated to the service to this community and the organization. I would also like to mention Lieutenant Ed Bradford, who has been here for 30 years as well. I started with Ed. We were on A shift together. Ed is another very dedicated employee who has a penchant for excellence in what he does and is always looking out for his crew and the citizens as well. Next, I would like to mention Inspector Brad Johnson. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, Brad Johnson has completed 1 year. If you would come up front, Inspector Johnson. Additionally, firefighter Zachary Schleifler, I don't think he's here at this time, who is, I did want to mention both of them. Mr. Johnson, I know he gets very, very good, I receive very good reviews from the fire marshal about the work that Inspector Johnson does. Very dedicated, out every day. I don't hear too many complaints from him, and that's good from a one-year employee. And firefighter Zachary Schleifler, who is already heavily involved with our training division and goes out of his way to volunteer for live fire drills and other types of trainings, even with the newer guys that we have, so newer firefighters we have. So I did want to congratulate everyone on this list for their milestones in their career.
Oh, perfect timing. Come on up here.
Come.
Commissioners, just in case you didn't know, blue shirt is the 1 year.
Which one's the 30-year?
The guy with no hair? Said what?
Something to make look good in the picture.
I heard that.
After 30 years, he tore it all out.
I was wondering why he was all dressed up in that costume.
Okay, this was, you just missed my dialogue about you, but this is firefighter Schleifler, who is the one-year firefighter we mentioned. Come on up. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I wanted firefighter Schleifler to look at Brad and show what he's going to look like.
30 years. That's great.
Congratulations.
Congratulations again, gentlemen. Keep up the good work. Commissioner's business.
I have none.
I just want to thank the Anchor Community Church. They invited the department to a Thanksgiving dinner that was absolutely incredible. I thought it was home, with home cooking. People were wonderful. They treated us like gold, and it was a pleasure to be there. Thank you.
Commissioner Fitzgerald?
Again, it's a pleasure for me to be here, and I thank you all for the cooperation, the mutual cooperation that we will expect and do with each other. Thank you.
Okay, all I have is that remind everybody about the tree lighting in the park tomorrow evening, and to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Next item is old business. We have anything we need to talk about? I'm still on the mural, where we stand with the mural. That one's kind of,
We are moving forward with that. We will be in further discussions once it becomes more of a priority at this point, essentially after the beginning of the year.
I mean, it's still
Yes, sir.
kind of, we probably need to put that, fast track that a little bit so that we can, you know, be on pace with the, as the,
So you can hear better.
as downtown redevelopment comes together, we should make sure that at least we know what direction.
I just want to.
Ed, tell them thanks for the help.
He did it, I didn't touch it.
No, tell them thanks for the help. Anyway, just that's all I have, because there's been a few comments made, and I think that maybe we need to start at least having a direction and something to bring back to the board, that we know what direction we're going to go in, and have some kind of time frame between now and maybe early summer.
I did want to mention that the assistant chief has been making attempts to contact the artist
Okay.
who's involved.
That's fine, as long as, you know, sometimes we get busy with a lot of things, and I just want to make sure that we committed to do that. So as our partners with the city, I would really like to make sure we stay on top of that.
Yes, sir.
I have something on old business.
Okay, sure.
Are you going to make a report on Station 6 tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Station 6 or 7?
7, I mean.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Under new business, we've got a schedule of regular meetings for 2017. I found one discrepancy. I don't know if everybody else looked it over. Everything seemed fine to me, except the June meeting is going to be on the same day as our FASD, first day of our FASD conference, and most of us will be gone for that, so we need to reschedule that.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if we want to pick a date now and do it the first
We
Monday or whatever.
We could do a tentative date now.
Or the first week instead of the
Yeah,
second.
that's first week.
So if we want to push it forward to the 5th, or back
Yeah,
to
I
the
would think that would probably be the best option. If everybody's in agreement with that, everybody going to be in town on June 5th? So we need a motion to approve the calendar of the regular meetings. I didn't find any, if anybody else have any discrepancies with the meetings, it all look good, but I just happened to notice that the FASD conference is,
We do have one other that we would suggest moving. The second Monday in September is September 11th. So we're pretty sure there'll be another Patriot Day
I saw
ceremony
that,
at night.
I did notice that.
We
we were-
can't say for sure, but we would guess that the Patriot Day ceremony will be at night again. So if we want to move it, we could move it to perhaps just the day after, Tuesday, if that's okay.
September 12th.
It's fine with me.
Or move it to the Monday
I might
before.
have the Monday before.
That might be
That's
Labor
Labor
Day,
Day.
that's
Oh,
Labor Day, yeah,
We
that's
can go
Labor
the
Day.
Monday after. Any problems with that?
Well, usually, well, I guess it would
Well,
be.
then what happens, we start
The
Yeah,
Patriot,
compressing.
usually
the
that
days.
Patriots ceremony is usually at 6 o'clock, but I'd be cutting it kind of close to doing a meeting. All right, let's change that to the Tuesday then.
That's fine.
All right, so we have a motion to accept that with the changes.
I'll make that motion.
Need a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Chief reports. Chief Daigle.
Yes, sir. Station 27, or the beach station, we do have the truck. It has been in for some time now. It's been outfitted, and we should expect that truck to be fully complete and up and operational by the end of the week. Along with that, we're just waiting, I believe, for some radio, some radio equipment to fully outfit the truck. Along with that, we have successfully graduated the 7 new firefighters from our orientation class. Of course, Captain Madden did a fantastic job, and he has expressed to us that it was an excellent class. So we're really looking forward for these new firefighters to come online. And they actually are online. Today was the first day for three of the 7. 2 of the 7? 2 of the 7. So they are in their shift mode at this point. Basically, the way we're utilizing them, we will have them staffing that new truck once the truck is up and running, but right now we're using them for backfill for time off and also for staffing of the trucks when we're down some employees from workman's comps and issues like that. But they will either be on that truck, or it should staffing permit, or they will be backfilling for employees that are off. That would be 7 firefighters. Additionally, we do have, I'll stick with Station 27 at this time. Essentially, the construction is complete. The lights are in, the electricity has run. The only thing that we are waiting for is our countertop, which is a stainless steel countertop, which we expect to be in, I think, by the end of the month at the latest, and the whole station should be completed by the end of the month. Hopefully, before the 3rd week of December, we will be in that station and moving forward. That's with the interior of the station. We have ordered all the appliances as well as the furniture. The exterior of the station is a different situation. We have approached the city for a variance, which they have granted to us, which will allow us to move forward with putting the slab in to park the truck, as well as the asphalt and sidewalk that are required by the city, and the plant buffers that are expected by the city. However, we will be required by the city to show them an artist rendition, or a rendition of what it's going to look like with the overhang. They would like the approval to be able to approve the architectural design for the overhang. But we believe that that's moving forward, and that should be completed at a later date. Don't know the specific timing of that, but once the firefighters are in, we will be able to park the truck and run calls out of that station, as well as emergency calls, meaning rescues, and also fire calls. With the boat, we are still in the process of getting the appropriate paperwork done for the lift to be put in. We will be talking about whether or not it is feasible for us to park the boat there without the lift. In the meantime, we have not come to an operational conclusion for that yet. Of course, that's a priority of ours, is to get that boat up and running out there with that station as soon as possible, so it can be operationally efficient. And that is what I have for.
You have a time
27.
frame on the boat lift? You don't know?
I will defer to Deputy Chief Scott. He's been working on that particular portion of the project.
Yeah, we don't have an exact date. It is with the Army Corps of Engineer and the DEP at this time.
So will the boat still be able to be used by the time we get the permit, or will we have to get a new boat?
Yeah, you know how that works too. So it sounds like a little lengthier permitting process because of us being a government agency, and that's a recreational kind of marina area. Yes, sir.
Is that just to have the lift, or can we put the boat in the water there regardless at any time?
We could put the boat in the water there. We're just trying to, the questions you're asking as the station gets completed, hopefully we'll have a better idea. So if it's going to be a little bit later, we'll do that. If construction's going to start in the lift within a week or so, maybe not. We're just going to have to look at that.
That probably means you'd have the bottom paint.
Yeah, if it was going to be extended period of time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll pull it out and clean it pretty regularly.
And the boat's back in service now with,
Oh, yeah.
Everything's all good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chief?
Excuse me, is that two men on that truck?
No, that'll be 3 people on that vehicle.
3 people?
Yes, sir.
And every dispatch, when they go out, the 3 men will go out?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
The little explanation of that
thank you.
is, if we had 2 people, we do not run our boat operations with 2 people, nor do we respond to fires with 2-man engine companies. So that is the theory behind putting 3 people on that vehicle. If we did not put 3 people on that vehicle, we would not be within the standards of responding to fires, or the boat would not be able to go out on an emergency call with only 2.
Well, one of the things too that comes to mind is it's definitely going to help our ISO rating. having a station there
Yeah.
and having it manned sufficiently, and as well as what we're going to do out east. I think that the payback on that with the ISO rating will be significant.
Yeah. I think I wasn't sure if we were considering that truck to be a rescue vehicle or a full-size engine. Is that a,
What that truck represents is a mini pumper, meaning that it has the same pumping capacity as one of our full-size engines. However, in the pickup truck capacity, in the pickup truck, I guess you'd say, configuration.
okay,
So therefore, it's not the same size of, obviously, an engine. It doesn't carry as much water. It carries 400 gallons. Doesn't carry as much hose. Doesn't carry as much equipment in general. So it will be of limited capacity, meaning for us firefighting. However, the three personnel will be able to sufficiently handle significant car wrecks and being first on scene and hooking up to a standpipe should they need to and begin fire operations without the engine.
yeah.
A
Can
full
you
engine.
hook up to a hydrant?
It
direct?
will have some large diameter hose on it, but not, it's too heavy for that truck. So it will have a limited amount, but typically our first-in engine does not lay a line. So they will, in most cases,
Yeah.
normally they just go straight in and start fire attack, and the second-in unit will lay the line. There is some operational, obviously, decreased capacity for us to respond to Fort Myers Beach. We have to work on a mutual aid response because when they need to know that they're getting a fully capable engine, and in this case, they will not be getting a fully capable engine. So they'll have to understand that
Yeah.
when we respond mutual aid, that the capacity of the truck that we will be sending to them and North Naples and everyone else we respond to.
Do we train the men on the configuration of the boat and the truck? So those firefighters on the truck are trained in the capacity and use of that boat, right?
Yes, sir. Those
Are they
firefighters
special, I
that
guess, yeah.
Yes, sir. Those firefighters that will be occupying that station will have specialized training for that boat. Boat operations, area familiarization, they'll need to know how to, nighttime responses are obviously the most dangerous. So we will be, Deputy Chief Scott has trained the operators and the employees that will be stationed out there to that level to be able to respond to all waterborne emergencies.
Chief Scott doesn't respond anymore, does he?
If he feels the need that he needs to, he will.
I live close by, that's like.
No. Thank you for the information, really.
Yes, sir.
I've come a long way with this boat, and I think Chief Scott deserves our praise and appreciation for that. So,
Yes,
Do you have
sir.
anything else, Chief?
I did want to talk about the administrative assistant positions. We are hiring 2 administrative assistance positions. Now, these positions are, we have 1 employee retiring, and the other administrative assistant position was the one that the board approved a few months back
Right.
to move forward with. This is not going to increase our overall staffing for the district. It will remain the same, the overall staffing, because we will have potentially another vacant position coming up, which will be filled.
Very good.
I also did want to echo what Commissioner Casilla said. Anchor Christian, our chaplain, is always extremely supportive of the firefighters, and their congregation did an incredible job for the firefighters and showing their appreciation for what they do for this Thanksgiving. And we're lucky to have the chaplain serving our community. So.
Can he cook?
I think, how many turkeys was that? 20? 17 turkeys they made. So, anyway, thank you very much, and that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Chief.
thank you.
Assistant Chief DeWitt?
I have nothing tonight.
Really? Deputy Chief Scott?
Nor do I.
Deputy Chief Sanchez? Oh, you guys are awesome. Any public comment?
Good evening. Jude Richvale from Bonita Springs. I'd like to take this opportunity to again welcome Ed Fitzgerald. He brings a depth of experience as chief of Midtown Manhattan, I believe. And you can already see by his questions that he's doing a good job here. In fact, perhaps at some point the commission, the members of the commission, could consider him again as chairman because he has the most experience here. Thank you.
Next.
Good evening. I'm Jeff Maturo. I just wanted to, this wasn't planned, but you guys were just called out. Let's see, Brad and, Zach and Ed were just called out to my development where the car ran in. And again, Bonita Fire was first on the scene, so I want to thank them for their quick response. They were professional as usual. I'm an EMT, so I stayed there for a minute to render aid, then a nurse came. But it's just nice to see them on scene again, and they always do a good job. You're always very professional. Thanks for your quick response. It could have been a lot worse. Did he end up getting transported? No? Okay. The reason I'm up here tonight is a couple of meetings ago, I believe it was Assistant Chief DeWitt that mentioned a detoxification sauna. I've been doing a lot of research on it on my own, and I also spoke with the Estero Fire Department in great detail. They're expecting their sauna to be there hopefully this month. I just talked to them the other day. I was wondering, A, what is our status? In my research, it determined that it reduces the amount of cancer on retired firefighters by over 50%. So to me, that seems like something that we need and we really could use. If you give me an amount of what we need, if we don't have it in the budget, I looked at what these things cost, but if you can tell me if you've narrowed down what it costs, we can probably get you the money you need so it doesn't come out of the public's budget or anything else. But I think it's a useful tool, like you've given them 2 sets of bunker gear, and now you wash their bunker gear, and you remove the ice machines from this. This falls on the same line, just to make sure when these guys who work hard every day, when they retire, they don't have to worry about another issue of passing before their time because they didn't have the right equipment. Thanks.
Thank you. I had a thought on that, and I'd had some discussion with the chief of Estero. I think they got their sauna donated to them, and they were going to equip it, if I'm not mistaken, unless that's changed. But if we've opened that discussion, one thing that came to mind when we first started talking about this at one of the conferences on a sidebar was it might be more cost effective to maybe buy a few of them and put them into mobile units and have several districts pay for them and move them to a scene as needed rather than all of us piecemeal and get into it. Just a thought process as far as functional consolidation, you could get a bus of some kind that would have 4, 5, 6 units in a bus and have a co-op among departments, because it's going to be something that's not going to be used all the time. It's basically going to be, correct me if I'm wrong, but the lion's share of the time it's going to be used after a structure fire. And with the number of fires that there are, it would just seem that we would probably, at least it would be worth investigating to see if we could do a mobile unit and then share the cost between a few departments and move the vehicle to the area as needed. If that sounds crazy, then tell me, but it just seems that the cost is pretty expensive, and the need is there. There's no question that the need is there, and anything we can do to prevent cancer, I mean, we have an obligation to do that. I'm just wondering if it wouldn't be more efficient if we shared it with a few agencies in South County and split the cost. Any further public comment? Well, I believe that's it. Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.